But here's the deal. I'm not a public anything, and I don't want to be recorded.
Even though cops are supposed to uphold the laws, it's always a spectacle when they realize they've picked the wrong battle. Just like this civil officer who learned the hard way that some citizens won't be bullied.
Do you mind waiting quietly?
Oh, geez.
On November 5th, 2024, Election Day, an auditor went to get a public records request at a City of Chehalis City Hall when he met the biggest Karen working there you could imagine.
Hi there.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. You work here, or are you just a really friendly citizen?
What can I do for you?
Well, if you work here, I'm looking to inspect the Public Records Index.
The Public Records Index. I'm
Indeed.
new enough that I don't even know what that is.
No problem, I can help you. In the Public Records Act, Section 70, it describes an index. It's just meant to assist people in requesting records.
Okay.
And it's just something that's maintained.
Okay.
Just want to take a peek at it and see what kind of manuals, policies, orders, that kind of stuff the city has.
Let me find out what direction to
Sure.
send you. Can you sit a moment?
Clerk started out with a cheery attitude, but you can bet it didn't last for long.
Well, I'm brand new and I don't know what the steps are. Could you please stand outside?
That's a violation of state law.
I'll have the police officer come down. Go ahead and come out.
Yeah, if they want to come on over here and talk to me.
Okay, go ahead and come out.
I'd rather not. I don't want to make this awkward, but you're violating my liberties if you do that.
You're violating my comfort level. I'm a brand new employee. I'm a woman. You don't know what my background is or what my trauma triggers are. I'm asking you as a polite adult to stand outside for a moment.
Do you work for the city?
I'm asking you to stand outside
But
for a
man,
moment.
if you're just a citizen,
Would you please call the police chief
Yeah,
and
if
have
you
him
wanna-
come down?
yeah, it's probably the best thing to do.
As much as you have rights, she has rights as a citizen as well, so
Are you just some random guy interjecting yourself?
does it matter?
Just curious.
I can't have just normal conversation?
Oh, absolutely you can. I'm just asking
Okay.
if you work here or if you're just a citizen.
I am just an American taxpayer just like yourself,
great.
and I'm entitled to my opinion just like you.
I 100% agree, especially on this amazing day of
Actually, we have
voting.
that button.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than doing her job, she immediately gets the police chief, as if the auditor did anything wrong.
And if
There's
you
a
want to look at
button
public
right down
records as it says, then that's fine. But, you know, if somebody doesn't want to get recorded, they can ask you to not get recorded.
Oh, they can ask. 100% agree. RCW 9.73.030 though makes it really clear that there's only an expectation of privacy when
He
you're
is
not in
recording
public.
right now if you'd
When you're not what?
When you're not in public,
I know.
so like if you were in your
We just had that
home
training.
and I was inside your home and you're like, hey, please stop recording.
Okay, but here's the
Yeah.
deal. I'm not a public anything, and I don't want to be recorded.
Sometimes you don't get what you want in
Put that
life.
on there. Okay, well, we'll find out about that.
We will.
A government employee not knowing the laws that directly affect her is embarrassing enough, but the fact that she doesn't even know what the auditor is asking for is even worse.
Can I inspect that records index? I'd still like to inspect it.
A records index?
Yeah, that's what brought me in here today for my whole reason for a visit.
Hi there.
Hey,
What's going on?
We have a conversation that was happening, and then this gentleman came in, but Sabrina can tell you more,
Okay.
and he is recording.
Yeah, that's fine. I am too. It's okay.
Oh, good. Okay. I just asked him not to record because I'm brand new. I had no idea what the flow was for the public records request that he was asking, and I hadn't had a chance to really collect myself. And he doesn't know what my traumas and triggers are, but he continues to record, even though I asked him to please just stand outside while I find out what the right path is.
that's exactly what happened.
Okay, and he can record here, so
Once again, she veers off topic, focusing solely on herself, but her attitude quickly changes when the police chief adopts an unexpected stance.
and he can record here, so.
And he is.
He's well within his right to do that, and we can't.
Especially as a journalist, ma'am. I mean, what you just did is incredibly rude. You called people with firearms and other weapons because I'm a journalist working on a story.
I don't know you're a journalist. You didn't identify
I don't need
yourself.
to identify,
Okay.
ma'am. You work for the government. I have a Fourth Amendment, especially on this hallowed day of elections. You need to rein it in.
Okay. So
Please do not be rude to me
You
like
don't need
that.
to tell me what I need.
I'm telling you right now as a public servant what's going on. I appreciate your candor and your professionalism. Thank you. I do.
So is there anything? You understand you're here for asking for public record?
well,
information?
close. I'm actually looking to inspect the Public Records Index.
Ah, that's your realm, not mine.
The auditor went to make a simple records request, and all the clerk has done till now is just argue, argue, argue.
Were you looking to put in a request for the public records
Ooh, no, because the records index is something that's supposed to be created and maintained since, well, looks like you guys have been around a long time as a city, so since 1972 when the Public Records Act created 4217-260 subsection 3, which is now 425670 subsection 3.
Correct. Are you asking for the record?
I'm looking to inspect it. It's not a record, it's an index. It's a tool meant to aid me in making my records request.
I guess I'm confused as to what exactly you're looking for.
The index.
Would it be possible if she took down a phone number and gave you a call back with that information?
That might explain why she is so naive about her duties, but being new is still no excuse for how she behaved. The law had actually been changed to make requests like his entirely valid, but the real reason why she isn't cooperating is even more unbelievable.
I got a tip and a lead that you guys don't have an index, which, yikes, that's a massive, I mean, interplanetary size fine from the state if you don't have that. So I'm really needing to see if you have it to inspect now. If you don't, that really finishes my story. But I wouldn't say that
I might just be confused because
Okay.
I'm fairly new at the job.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
I don't know
Sure.
if it's just a log of all of our records.
So I can help you. So what it is it's a series of things such as final orders, dispositions, policy analyses. Like, for example, if your city council said, we're going to pass an order about XYZ, whatever it is, the index has that. And what it does is it allows me to look at all your manuals, policies, etc., and make sense of it. So, like, since you are the records officer, I'm assuming, right?
After nearly 10 minutes of bickering, the auditor finally explains why he visited, and what he finds out is embarrassingly bad for the whole city administration.
Well, I know you said
Or has it
probably. So how can I know if that is something you have right now? Because I'd like to make the records request, but I'd like to use the index to help me, to aid me
Well,
in
that's
making
where
it.
I'm not sure if we've classified it as that, so that's why.
I'll
if
tell you
gave
what.
me a little bit of time to look into it, I could
Sure.
come back to you because it's kind of sudden.
Yeah, I'm just in town for the day working on this. What I'd like to do is see if I can have you look up the records index section real quick. It's like one sentence. It's really quick. It'll just help narrow down, I think, for you what I'm talking about. So in 4256, section 70.
1 second.
Sure, you bet.
By law, they're required to have an index, and on election day, they're saying they might not even have one? The fact that the auditor has to guide the employee on how to do her job is pitifully sad.
So I want to make sure I'm understanding. I have a log for ordinances and resolutions, and then most everything else is published on our website.
Yeah, I do know that it can be published on the website. It's also supposed to be something that's inspectable.
So our meeting minutes are published on the website, our agenda packets.
Sure.
All of our meetings is published on the website for agendas. We do have some video on there. I can print the logs for ordinances and resolutions. I'm just trying to fully understand exactly what it is.
Sure, give me just a second. I'm just going to pull this up so I can be really specific.
The clerk's excuses can only save her for so long because this auditor has experience with these situations.
I'm looking for all that.
So all of that should
Be on the website?
be on the website in our meeting. We log all of their votes, whether it.
Oh, no, I
all
get
of
that.
And then our meeting minutes are also approved through the council meeting.
Sure.
So they're logged in with that.
Yeah, and I get what you're
Along
saying.
with like historic preservation, planning commissions,
Sure.
DRC, all of that is on our website.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. What I'm getting at is the index, just like in a book, is meant to index all of that so that I can say, here's like the administrative staff manual, for example.
Having to explain what an index is to a clerk shows just how sad the state of this city's record keeping is.
I don't believe that in every meeting that the city council, I mean, maybe they're the most thorough city council ever for the entirety of the existence of the city. I could be wrong here. But generally, I don't see them have an administrative staff manual every single time. That would be the most awkward thing I've ever seen a city council do.
Right,
So-
the last one was approved in 2022.
Yeah.
And that would be in with the council meeting.
Sure, but it's not an index. So taxonomically speaking, the index would refer to all those things, and then I would know, oh, okay, this is what you guys call it. So you may call your administrative staff manual the Lord's Book, or whatever. I have no idea. You guys may have some weird name for it that I've never heard of, Some people call them an administrative staff manual, some call them the fun good time book. I don't know.
Every new detail we learn about this city's bureaucracy is even crazier than the last.
Like city
It's
employee
administrative
Sure,
policy.
exactly, yeah. So
Something real simple.
the index is just supposed to be something that allows me to say, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So then I can, for example, potentially go to the website and say, okay, they call it this. I don't see it. Now I can say, hey, where's your fill in the blank? Because your index says you have it. It's,
See, and I think our website does break it down that way, because you can go to documents and narrow it down to that specific thing.
sure. I didn't see all of that. That's why I'm coming.
It's insane how she thinks having a website is some get-out-of-jail-free card for the department not doing its job.
The website's updated to a different format, so it is a little bit harder to navigate if you're used to our older format,
Yeah.
because I even have trouble finding stuff on there too.
And I think
And
you're
when
kind
it
of...
switched, it did revert back to a lot of stuff that we're still fixing, so it might have
Yeah.
been something that you were looking for that we haven't fully
Sure.
had them fix.
And you're kind of making my point why the legislature did this. To have an index achieves the whole function of what an index provides as a tool. It's to say, here's what we have, so I don't have to go through. And as captivating and engaging as reading city council meeting minutes often is, and don't get me wrong,
The auditor must be exhausted because what should be a few minutes' work has turned into a Byzantine administrative mess.
usually the city attorney is the one that's dug into all that.
I
And-
believe he's in court today. So,
Over the records index?
no.
I'm kidding.
no.
Our speed contract for through
Oh,
the
okay.
city, so
All right, fair enough.
We don't have our own, like, he's sitting in the back somewhere waiting
Right.
for us to call him.
Gotcha. Is your mayor around?
We have a city manager, council.
City manager around, or maybe a council member?
He's not.
Is any council member?
They
Could you-
usually don't hang out at City Hall.
Okay.
If they could
What?
avoid
This is
us,
where everything's
except for
happening right
meetings,
now, right? At least right
small
now.
town.
Fair enough.
The auditor's experience is showing because he knows exactly what to do at every point.
I think their salary is $100 a month.
Wow. Really? Okay, fair enough. Hey, I can appreciate the service there. That's a good thing.
So we have a council manager form of government, so the council tells the city manager what to do.
I see. Okay, so you got a. Well, I don't want to. You don't have a strong mayor then. It sounds like.
Right. The
Gotcha.
council.
I don't want to say a weak mayor, but
No, it's. I get what you're saying in terms
Yeah.
of how government operation.
Fair enough.
Yeah, our mayor isn't the one that gives us the day-to-day orders. That comes from the city manager.
fair enough. Like Edmonds has the strong mayor, even though
Right.
the previous mayor didn't do a good job there at all.
It would be too unfair to be harsh to the council members, but the same can't be said for the records department.
Well, what I'd like to do is it possible to just have you maybe text the city manager or city council members? Because really for me, the issue is I don't want to report falsely, but at the same time, it's supposed to be inspectable like right now. And if
all
it's
outside
not,
my knowledge base. Sorry.
yeah.
Cassie,
Yes.
just one request.
One more question?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you could text the city manager or one of the city council members and just see if they're familiar with it. Because I don't want to report falsely, but it is something that's supposed to be inspectable like right when somebody comes in. Usually it's about, especially for a small town like this, it's probably the index is probably front and back 10 pages.
Why they can't have basic documents accessible on the most important day of the year is something I still can't figure out.
Probably should look up to see what other cities have, and we might have it, and I just am not
I
understanding.
got a perfect
what you're
example for you.
Okay.
If you call up the Washington State Patrol headquarters right now and ask them to email their records index, you'll have it in probably about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then you'll see exactly what it is.
I have a deadline and I don't feel comfortable working right now because I can't concentrate. I'm actually just going to contact Claire and let her know I don't have it done. Unless you gentlemen can go somewhere else and visit.
Well, I'm just waiting for the index.
Do you mind waiting quietly?
Oh, geez. Just talking with the deputy chief.
Rather than simply doing her job as a public servant, this clerk acts as if she is the president herself sitting in front of the auditor.
It's gonna be like that. It's a bit cantankerous, man. Come on.
Thank you. Something else that I can do to help get that deadline?
It's a concentration thing, but I think I'm just going to zero in and handle it. I don't want to talk to you right now because you're clearly comfortable making me uncomfortable, and
Now, what I'm comfortable with is being a citizen of this wonderful nation, exercising my liberties, and not kowtowing to an abusive government employee. See, the deputy chief, fantastic government employee. He just seemed to.
I agree, he is.
Hard to say if that was sardonic or not, but well played.
Even worse than Sabrina's awful attitude is that her cushy job is funded entirely by taxpayer dollars.
I'm gonna go check to see how she's coming with those
Sure.
documents.
Yeah. I do think also, by the way, Sabrina, if you're interested, I think North Korea still has applications open for becoming a citizen. Good place to live. Not a lot of cameras. Have a better day, Sabrina.
I think she's got it for
Awesome. Hey.
or something. I don't know if it's
Nice.
something.
So I reviewed your RCW again in here, and
Yeah.
then
Okay. So
reviewed
you've exempted yourself.
our code, and it is in our code that we do not have to maintain.
Surprisingly, she is correct. A recent change to their ordinances meant they didn't have to update. However, their website states that this work falls under city clerk's duties, so what is really going on here?
I still have to put it in the.
No, that's fine. I'm just tossing it out there.
Yeah.
So if I
Thanks for
start getting my Klingon
Yeah.
language going on here, we'd be in a pickle here. Okay, so what I would please with sugar on top like to get are all responsive records. Ooh. You guys didn't use the magic word in here. And it's not please. So in all responsive records regarding the second clause of section 70, subsection 4A. You guys exempted yourselves from the central index. You didn't exempt yourselves from the agency indices.
The city tried to get away with codifying their laziness, but they couldn't even do that properly.
Well, I would like to start with the municipal court and the police department.
Well, they're at least in this building.
Fair enough.
They're at the north end.
Okay. Hello. I have a question for you. So I just sussed out with the city administration that they don't have a central index, but the city did not exempt the individual departments from their own respective public records index.
Okay.
So I would like to inspect the public records index of the municipal court of the city of Chehalis, please.
What should have been a simple inspection is now way more work, all because of the city's incredible laziness.
So I would have to see what that would entail and get back to you.
Well, it basically comes down to you have it available for public inspection or not.
So I would have to check
Okay.
to see if that's something I have, and it's not something that I can do immediately, so I'd have to reach out.
Ooh. I think it's fair to say then you don't have it.
I didn't say I did or didn't. I said I would need to do some confirming, some checking.
Tell you what, how about this? I just got done talking with the deputy chief and I gotta go upstairs to inspect the police departments.
Okay.
So that should give a few minutes. You mind?
I can see what I can do in that time.
Sweet. Do you have a business card, by the way?
I do. Hold on.
Thanks.
It's quite astonishing how hard it is to get a straight answer from anyone in the building, except for one guy.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Yeah,
right.
and I'll see what I can do in that meantime.
Great. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Hello. I am looking to see if I can inspect the police department's public records index, please.
Public records index?
Yep. The deputy chief just got done talking with me downstairs about it, so he's familiar with it. So,
I'll grab it.
thanks. Appreciate it.
I'll save you some time. We don't have one.
Okay. Fair enough. I appreciate that. Do you have a... Oh, there's one. Thank you for being forthright about that.
At least this cop was cooperative the whole time, which can't be said for some of the other clerks.
You got my card already.
McKnight. Yeah, I just keeping a note here. Is your chief around?
He might be. Let me see if he's available.
Thanks.
Not available right now.
Okay, that's fine. I'm confident you're going to pass this along. I'd like to just pass along a commendation for you for just being a good police officer and public servant. So,
I'll
thank you.
definitely tell him that.
Yeah, I figured you would. But yeah, no, I just really appreciate your cordial, polite, professional demeanor and not getting frustrated over anything. So I just need to be able to work on the stories that I'm working on as a journalist. And you absolutely stood up for my liberties as a member of the press, and I thank you for that. So appreciate it.
This small gesture had a significant impact. You can tell by his smile it made the cop's day.
I don't suppose you can tell me what journalism it's going to be. I just want to see it.
Is your email address on there? It is. I never share when I'm out in the field, because I'm an investigative journalist, and you know, I don't think you're nefarious, but it's just, I've had this blow back on me hard when I'm out in the field. When I get back, I will happily email you and let you know where to find it. It'll all be there, so no problem on that.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, man. You take care. You have a good day.
So I got the update from the city clerk who you just spoke with, and she sent out the notice that the municipality is not obligated to maintain an index.
The confidence with which the clerk is wrong is shocking. How can every clerk in the building be so workaholic?
You are correct. The city does not have a central one, but the exemption actually says it's for a central index, not the individual ones. And in fact, subsection H says the individual agencies will maintain an individual index.
So I'm letting you know the information that's been shared with me.
Okay.
So, and that's what I've got for you.
Fair enough. I mean, that's all you can do. So thanks for your time.
Uh-huh.
I just went over to the municipal court, and I was told by Ms. Butcher that you instructed her that they do not have to have, as an agency of the city, an index. Is that accurate?
I provided the RCW for them to review.
Gotcha. There's a huge misunderstanding here. So in all agreement with what the deputy chief just did, he made it clear they do not have an index. It is what it is.
Okay.
I would like to clear this up, though, if you wouldn't mind aiding me over at the municipal court. She's under the impression that they don't need, as an agency of the city, to have an index. They do, because we know about H. She's saying because of D, they don't have to, but that's the central index, not the agency one. Would you mind meeting me over there and clarifying?
When called out for her mistake, just as you'd expect, she doubled down. Despite their attitude, this auditor can't be any more helpful to them.
I just want to clarify with the city clerk here. The city definitely does not have to maintain a central index for the city, but the individual agencies per H do. So is that accurate?
So that is specifically for public records, and you keep a log of your public records, right? Correct. So yes, she does.
She has an index.
For the public records requests?
No, not the logs, the index. So H says, pursuant to 4256, the city will disclose all public records, including any indices that are maintained by the city, to the extent such records or indices are not exempt. The only thing in D that we had gone over that you had highlighted, D says central index, not agency indices.
Explaining something this simple shouldn't be this hard, yet they've made it that way for themselves entirely of their own fault.
And so when you look at 425670, the local agencies, the departments of a city, for example, like the municipal court, water department, police, they have to maintain their own indices because you guys didn't exempt yourselves from that. You only exempted yourselves from the central records index. So the city doesn't have one, that's fine. I'll get the supporting documents for that. But the municipal court is not exempt based on your
Well, if I
order.
understand H correctly, we have to disclose them if we have them, but if we don't have them, if we never created them, there's obviously nothing to disclose.
Correct, but
So,
if you don't have it and you were supposed to have it, so if the court was supposed to have it,
but it's not saying we have to have it, it's just saying if we do have it, then we have to.
but RCW 425670 subsection 3 says you have to have it.
Eventually, they can see that there is in fact work to be done, and the auditor is more than happy to help.
I don't believe so, but
Okay.
I'm going to give you the contact information for the city attorney that we work with.
Yeah, would be better for me. If you guys could, I mean, you've got my email address from the public records request. If you just want to talk to the attorney like I was mentioning earlier,
Yeah.
just see what's going on. I'll go around and check with each agency just to confirm. If I'd be curious to see what the attorney says. I mean, that is, a pretty important thing to have, and it looks like you guys only exempted yourselves for the citywide one, or the city one, the central one, I should say, not the individual departments, so.
All we can hope for now is that the city's incompetent records department gets their act together, because this audit was a much-needed wake-up call for them. That's a wrap for today. Today's case highlights the importance of knowing and correcting officers who think they knew better. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Also, don't forget to check out how this racist cop was put in place by this mother.
Your middle finger extended, you said, quote, told, yelled it, and then said, fuck you as you drove away.